Okay, today we're going to talk about air pressure and how important it is. So when you're using like your 0.6 and stuff like that, you don't want as much air pressure because it can make the material crumple up as it goes through your hands. But then when you do go to using a thicker material, in this case in the 1.2, in the 140, and the 1.6 and 2 mil in the S220, if there's not enough air pressure for when you use a thicker material, you're going to get slip. But if there's less air pressure on the smaller material, you're not going to get it crumpling as much. So if you watch here, when we return the air pressure right up high on this machine, so as the hands move forward, you will see it start to buckle. So you're seeing this buckle here, there's a bit of tension because those hands are hitting the material so hard. So what we'll do is we'll go around, we'll show you a video on how to adjust your air pressure down, and we'll show you the results. Okay, so on the 140 machines, the RU and the 140M, you've got your valve here for your air. So you want to turn that down. At the moment it was on 8. We'll just release some of the pressure out. Get that down a little bit. So we jack this machine right up. So by taking some of the pressure out of that machine, so what we'll do now is we'll run this material through and you'll see the difference, the way the material acts as it goes through the hands. So you see there, it's not hit, the pistons aren't hitting as hard and causing that material to warp as it goes through. Also, you can get a few dents in the material, so by reducing that air pressure down, it's going to stop that. Okay, so now we're with the 220. And your valve for this one's up in the top up here above your control box. You see here, around about the 0.8 is a perfect spot for your 2 mils and 1.6, especially when you're using raw aluminium. What that's going to do, that's going to give the brake pads enough pressure to hold the material as the bending rods are doing their job. But if you do find with these machines, you are getting the dents and you're wobbling around on your thinner material, you just come up in here and simply wind your regulator down, reducing the air pressure and making sure your returns are coming out nice and clean. It's more of a visual thing to keep an eye on your returns as you are processing the smaller materials, and just make sure that you are getting that perfection coming out. Another thing you want to keep an eye on with the bigger machine and on the 140 as well is over time you might get a bit of a burr on your brake pads as it's trying to pull the material through. And what you'll find is occasionally you'll see a little dent, like a round dent on your returns, and that's from as the brake pads clamp on. If there is a slight burr in those pads, that will dent the material. So if you do find that, it's going to be probably time to give your brake pads a bit of a file down, or they might need replacing. But that's just something to keep an eye on as well. So we just wanted to make this video to show you how important air pressures are. Keep an eye on it and just adjust accordingly for different materials that you are using.